So now we're going to look at fillets and chamfers, and just to do that I'll draw a few lines here, just some bits and pieces that we can use to do fillets and chamfers on. Okay, up in our modify panel we have fillet, and chamfer is also on the same drop down. So fillet first of all. The fillet is a smooth blending radius. Now if we have two lines that we want to join at a point, we can actually join it with a fillet with a 0 radius, and that's the quickest way to join two lines. Now when the command comes up, it has a preset radius and it has a mode of whether it's going to trim the lines or not trim. The radius is by default is set to 0. So if we were to just click two lines, 1 and 2, it will make a fillet out of that with a 0 radius. Okay, I'll just undo that and we'll do the same again. We'll go fillet, and this time to set the radius I press the R for radius, or these days you can actually click on the word radius, and let's put in a radius fillet. Now again, I wasn't too particular about the sizes, I'll just get a bit of an idea. Let's try 50 as a radius, and then select my two lines, and it does the same thing with a blending radius. This is very useful command. You use it all the time, as you'll see in the exercise that we'll do shortly. Now another thing that we can do with the fillet command is to leave it untrimmed. So if we look at this mode up here, it's currently set to trim. If I click on trim, or if I press T and then I change it to no trim, it's still back in the fillet command. If I just drop out of that and come back in again, you'll see that it saves the last setting. So it's still set on 50 and now it's set to no trim. So if I click on two of these lines here, it will do a 50 millimeter fillet, and it has not trimmed those lines back. So that can be very useful sometimes. So to get out of that, and this is important to remember too, we have to go back into our fillet command. We would have to click trim to set our trim mode, and then we would click trim again to set it to trim. And if we look at that, it is now set to a mode of trim with a radius of 50. So that pretty well gives you what you need to do for fillets, and we'll do an example of that in the exercise that's coming up.